Y'all know we're always gonna hype our local theater scene, but sometimes we know people want to get away. That's why if you're headed to the Northeast, I'm gonna put y'all on to the Williamstown Theater Festival this summer. From July 17th to August 3rd, among the Berkshire Mountains in northwestern Massachusetts, over 130 artists will take the stage for nearly 100 performances. Some of the offerings include a world premiere from Jeremy O'Harris, a production of Camino Reels starring Pamela Anderson and Nicholas Alexander Chavez, and a new adaptation of a Samuel Barber opera. Discounted hotel rooms are available through June 1st. Go to WTFestival.org and make your plans to immerse yourself in theater this summer. Today on CityCast Chicago, June is almost here, my friends, and y'all know what that means. It's time for Chicago to show up and show out for the summer, and we've got your monthly guide to go along with it. It's Thursday, May 29th. I'm Jacoby Cochran, and this is what Chicago's talking about. I am joined this morning by executive producer Simone Alicea. Good morning, Simone. How you feeling?
Good morning, Jacoby. I'm okay. How are you?
I ain't out here complaining. We've also got producer Michelle Navarro in the building. How you feeling, Michelle?
Hey, Jacoby, I'm also not complaining.
If you are new to CityCast Chicago, welcome every single day, Monday through Friday. And that is without fail for the last 4 years and 1,000+ episodes. We are here to break down the best city in the damn world, Chicago, right? We are talking about parks. We're talking CTA, what's going on in City Hall with the school board. But we also got things like preparing you for Summertime Shy, talking about some of the best festivals going on this month, talking about new restaurants happening around the city, things we're excited to eat, drink, try, dip our toes in. And this month, like every single month, we're talking about the things we're most excited for, most looking forward to, despite how the weather feels right now at the time we're recording this. Next week, things are supposed to pick up. What's the festival you are definitely hitting, you putting on your calendar, and you're going to get out to this June? Simone, we're going to start with you.
The one I know for sure I'm going to is I'm going to Midsummer Fest. The reason I know for sure I'm going to Midsummer Fest is because my friends just moved in to an apartment in Andersonville, and their housewarming party during Midsummer Fest weekend. And at first I was like, this is a choice. But then they were like, no, see, it's brilliant because if you want to go to the festival, then you can come chill at our place after and use a real bathroom instead of using the porta potties. And I think that was really grand. I'm really excited to see on June 14th, Dancing Queen, which is an ABBA tribute band. And it's always a good time. I also still have a couple years ago, I made a flower crown at Midsummer Fest, and I still have it. I dried it, and it's hanging out on my...
I remember when you popped out with that.
Yeah, on my lamp. So I'm hoping maybe I can get another flower crown going. But you got to go early. Yeah, I don't know if they're doing it again this year, but you got to get there really early because I know by the time that I left the fest, all of the flowers are out. You could only do like the garlands, which maybe isn't as fun.
That's a big weekend for art festivals around the city as well. You got Old Town Art Fair, Artists of the Wall Festival up in Rogers Park, Wells Street Art Festival. So, I mean, it's going to get redundant throughout this conversation. Every single weekend is packed. Michelle, what about you? What's a festival that is on your calendar you definitely going to at some point?
One that I will be checking out throughout the summer that's starting this month is the Grant Park Music Festival, which starts on June 11th and it runs to August 16th. I love music at the park just because I love picnics. I love having my friends outside. I love touching grass with my friends, and having like music in the background always helps. This is obviously a free event, so I think it's really helpful for people to check out, especially if, you know, you like me, I didn't grow up listening to classical music. I didn't grow up just having orchestras around. And so being able to go to a park and see a live orchestra with different conductors, famous musicians.
They're playing in the band shell at Millennium Park, right? In that beautiful...
In the Pritzker Pavilion.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a beautiful sculpture. Like, it's on its own, like, stage aside, it's such a beautiful sculpture that you can see from so many different angles when you're walking. It's so beautiful, and to like be on the lawn is such a vibe.
Jacoby, what fest are you looking forward to this month?
So the festival I've gone to probably the last 3 or 4 years, or 3 out of the last 4 years. And every year I tell myself it's going to be the last, is Lyrical Lemonade Summer Smash. And it's no fault of the festival itself. Last year, it did get rained out for a little bit. There was an evacuation out at SeatGeek Stadium. But by the end, especially having like photo pit passes, which I've had for the last couple of years, I get some of my best photos there. I've gone with my homie Darius the last few years, but it is the festival that I think is the one festival every single summer, probably the one event where I feel my age the absolute most of any other
well,
event
because
I
it's
go
a true
to.
music festival. That's the thing. This is not like a little street fair, street fest. Like, you've committed.
No, people are out there all day, full backpacks of whatever is inside the backpack, doing whatever they doing. And I'm people. We be out there loud in a mug. But every year I think is going to be my last. And then they pop out and are like, hey, Tia Korean is back. Herbo gonna be performing. Young Thug's first performance since a years long trial and incarceration stay. It's every single year they find a way. Chance is doing a special performance. Last year it was Mick Jenkins, the special Chicago performance that brought me in and brought me back. And so I do think it'll be another year of feeling much older than I actually am. Because I don't understand anything the kids be saying out there. I'm gonna be honest with you. SeatGeek actually is going to be popping this month. They also just announced an R&B Summer Jam food festival, which is at the end of the month, and that's going to have Isley Brothers, Kiki Wyatt, Carl Thomas, and of course, my Shayla. Tyreek's going to be out there as well. And then they're going to have some real Just Niche, Damon Williams, Corporate, Lil Rel going to be hosting. Maybe Preacher Quisa pull up or something. So yeah, SeatGeek is going to be a good place to be this summer. All right, so we got through the festivals we definitely have on our calendars and we're going to be going to. But now I think we should lean into like the festivals that we like in our dreamy dreams. In the perfect June, these are the ones we pull up on. We pull up on with our friends. We hope to put in our calendars, but we definitely want to put our listeners on this month. Michelle, what festival is that for you?
I really want to check out the 57th Street Art Fair, June 7th and 8th in Hyde Park. I've never been. It's in its 78th year, so this is a long-standing art fair. I mean, of course, there's going to be different art vendors. They have a map and a legend online to show you where the different vendors are, and they have it kind of separated by painting, ceramics, jewelry, sculpture, wooden furniture, photography, prints. I love having art in my home, and I feel like I kind of haven't bought art in a long time. And I've been in this apartment for a while now, so I really do want to take up this chance to like fill up my apartment with meaningful art. And what's better than supporting local artists? And so I'm excited to check it out. They're having like a Buddy Guys legend stage, so they'll be having music and then of course food trucks throughout.
That coincides with the Chicago Blues Festival. So hearing that Buddy Guy stage is going to be there is no surprise at all. I feel like this is the year, because I'm a sucker for art festival, and I usually pick up small things, but I feel like this is the year where I get something where the person has to like ship it to me. Where they're like, I can't let you take it right now. I want to keep displaying it, but I'll put up the little soul sticker and I'll send it to you. I feel like maybe this is the summer that I pull one of them moves. Simone, over to you. What is something you want people to put on their calendars this month?
I think it's really important that everyone locks in the dates for Pride Fest and the Pride Parade this year. Obviously, huge event here in Chicago. The parade, organizers have said draws, 1 million people. Pride Fest is happening June 21st to the 22nd. And then the Pride Parade is the weekend after on June 29th. It's interesting because we've talked about last year, the Pride Parade, had a shorter route. It had fewer floats, fewer participants, and that had to do with security and police presence. Police being spread pretty thin during the summer, manning lots of different festivals. And this year's Pride Parade is going to follow that same shorter route, starting at Broadway and Sheridan. At the very least, if you're not there, if you're not going to go celebrate and have a good time, which you should, it's a great time. I love Pride Fest. At the very least, keep it in note because things will be very tied up those 2 weekends in June around the north side.
My God, I really want to see Deborah Cox, G. How did you get
Deborah
here?
Cox, yeah, headlining on the 22nd.
Nobody's supposed to be here. Jesse McCartney, Confidence Man, Hala, Aluna the Aces, Snow Wife, a couple of the other headliners during that Pride Fest weekend. That is another packed weekend. Michelle, during yours, during the 57th Street Art Fair that weekend, you got Rib Fest, Greek Fest, Simone during Pride Fest. You got Vegandale. That's also the Summer Smash weekend. Every single weekend in Chicago is going to be packed out. And for me, I think the one people should put on their calendar, and I am never not impressed by the lineup, but every single year, because I feel like Puerto Rican Pride Fest, it's only grown since we've been doing this. 4-day festival. You got a talent show, Bariqua's Got Talent. You got a fashion festival, a 4-day carnival that's going on. Obviously, you got the parade celebrating 47 years, after parties. And while a few festivals have obviously left over the last couple of years, it's really good to see this festival consistently packed out. And again, you can make a full day of it. They've got a market there, performances. You can do art in the park. They gonna have dominoes, giant Jenga. I think it is one of Chicago's absolute best festivals of the summer.
I also think low-key one of the best ones for families and kids. That carnival you mentioned, I think, they're often at these street fests, there's like a little side street that has a kids corner with there's an artist doing bubble stuff or performers or whatever, doing stuff for the kids. You might have 1 or 2 carnival rides. That carnival at the Puerto Rican Pride Festival and at the parade it's big, actually. There's several rides. That I think is sort of a slept on part of that particular fest.
And they also have so many resources that are out there for young people going to college, for new arrivals into the neighborhood or into the city, healthcare resources. And so it really is like a one-stop shop. Everybody should try and make some time to get over there at some point during the 4-day stretch.
What days are those again?
June 12th through June 15th. I want to know, what is y'all biggest tip for June in Chicago, Simone?
So here's a weird one, but I've been thinking about it a lot ever since I did that interview with the state climatologist about air quality, which you can go back and listen to. It's on our website, chicago.citycast.fm. But in that conversation, we talked about indoor air quality. And something I've been thinking about is that I have been living in my apartment for a few years now, and I don't think I've ever changed or cleaned the filters on my AC unit. I'm saying this here on microphone now, today, in hopes that it will hold me accountable to actually change or clean my AC filter. I have a unit that is inserted into the wall. So it's like a window unit, AC unit, but it's in the wall. I know a lot of people out here with window units.
I have a couple of those for sure.
That they pull out every year. Absolutely check or replace your AC filters. It's going to start getting hot in like the high 80s as early as next week. It is not that difficult to do. Weirdly, Home Depot has a really useful, simple guide to follow for like checking and then like how to clean or replace your filter, depending on what kind of unit you have or kind of how your AC works. And not only will it, make sure that the air that you're pulling into your home to cool it is clean and not full of dust and dirt, but also it can reduce your cooling costs when you have when your filter's all plugged up. It makes it harder for your AC unit to work and therefore uses more energy. And so it can also reduce your ComEd bill maybe a little bit if it's running more efficiently. So that's my goal. That's my tip and my goal. Check your AC filters.
I'm not gonna lie, I did it maybe a couple months ago and was grossed out at myself because I did not know, because they were those big fat units and just didn't pay attention to it, didn't really give a lot of thought to it.
I'm really terrified. I think this is going to be really embarrassing for me when I finally open this thing up.
It can be real grimy, but you can feel a noticeable difference after you get those things cleaned out. Michelle, what is your tip you want to put people on this month?
So this month, the Chicago Park District will be opening around 50 outdoor pools. They usually do it mid-June. And so for now, they're saying June 21st will be the day that they open them. There's 27 indoor pools open year-round, but this is exciting for people like me who like to swim outside. The outdoor pools usually close right before Labor Day, so their season is kind of short. So that's why I say like it's best to get out while you can. The website has a really good guide in like terms of like being able to search which pools have accessible features. So like a ADA ramp, ADA stairs. They also tell you which pools have like a water playground or slides close by for like little ones, or also like a really shallow side for little ones. So I thought that was really helpful. This is also depends on your location. Sometimes some pools can't operate because of lifeguard shortage or whatever it may be, or for like pool maintenance. And so definitely check into your local outdoor pool to ensure that when you go, they'll be open. They also have a lot of like swim sessions. If you like to lap swim, you do have to pay for that. There is like a really affordable membership. So if you are like a serious swimmer and you want your own lane, they have hours for that. But of course, family swim and adult swim is always open. And so, yeah, I'm trying to get back on my swimming grind this year. And so I'm holding myself accountable as well.
I do want to say, I want to give credit where credit is due. The Chicago Park District said that last year they didn't experience a lifeguard shortage for the first time in a couple of years. They say this year they have bounced back and applications have gotten to pre-pandemic levels. They say they had enough lifeguards to have all 22 beaches open 7 days a week, 11 a.m. to 7 through Labor Day. And that as of now, that all pools plan to be staffed. But it does seem that the city's lifeguards are bouncing back and that pools and beaches will be able to run hopefully as smoothly as possible this summer. So again, pay attention when you are out there, whether you're at a pool or a beach. There was an article a couple of weeks ago that reminded people, even if the water seems calm, things can be difficult. So remember, green swimming is permitted, yellow swimming is permitted, but caution is advised, and red swimming is not permitted when you're out there on those city beaches this month.
Jacoby, what's your biggest tip for June?
My first one was going to be get out and get some music in your life. We got some big artists in Chicago: FK, Twigs, Smino, Kendrick Lamar, SZA. That's just to name a few that are going to be popping in and out of the city. But hey, say you're trying to make your way to an event this month, right? You're trying to pull up on a festival, right? You're trying to get to one of the pools, get to one of the beaches, and you chose to drive, right? You didn't take public transit. Well, you need to pay attention, because this month the city of Chicago has over 20 speed cameras popping up. 16 are going into effect June 1st. You may have already noticed them around different parts of the city. They have been giving out warnings. Some have been flashing, but they're going full operational on June 1st. 7 cameras are going to go into effect on June 15th, and then another 4 are going to go into effect June 30th. And this is really important. The city of Chicago issued more than 2 million violations last year for more than 160 speed cameras.
Did you say 2 million violations?
Yes. Speed cameras issued more than 2 million violations in 2024.
Where do you see that? That seems insane.
Chicago Sun-Times, go into the thing. Go down to the graph, G.
Simone, a lot of cars be passing,
They
a lot of
said
cameras.
the
There's
one in
only
Beverly-
2.7 million people in the city of Chicago.
They drive. They're all not going to just drive once, though.
I know.
The worst one is 105th and Western, and they say it gave out 116,000 violations through November 28th, and it wasn't even operational the full year. Remember, if you get caught on one of these cameras going 6 to 10 miles per hour over, that's $35, 11 miles per hour over the speed limit, that's $100. And I'm somebody, I get hit with these things almost every single time, y'all. The good folks over at Block Love Chicago and the Sun-Times have been tracking these speed cameras, when and where they go up, so you can find out where the ones are close by you. I will say most of these seem to be located near a park or a school. The goal is to not only like lower traffic fatalities, but to slow people down, particularly around elementary schools and parks.
But of course, also generating 11.4
Oh.
potentially $1 million to try to help balance the budget.
That's what the city talks mostly about the safety aspects of this, but Brandon Johnson was very explicit in his 2025 budget that there is a gap to close and that these speed cameras are hoping to help close that gap, which people have spoken out against, that we shouldn't be using these fines and these punitive penalties to try and close a city's budget gap. It's untenable, unsustainable, and ultimately going to impact Black and brown Chicagoans on the road at a disproportionate rate. This is something that the studies have shown us year over year. And so the least I could tell you, as somebody who is definitely going to get caught up by one of these, look up the addresses.
Or just drive slower. You could also just drive slower.
I was about to say that.
105th and Western is such a open. It feels like the flow of traffic over there is so much faster.
But people are still crossing the street, walking around.
Chicago Tribune just posted an article saying Chicago fatal car crashes remain stubbornly high in pandemic's wake. There's people who talk about Pulaski. Pulaski is one of those streets that has so many fatalities. So many people get hit by cars. They are happening higher than before the pandemic. And so it's...
Drive slower.
It's
so
scary.
Drive slower.
Speaking of drive slower, the city of Chicago is in July hosting NASCAR for the third year in a row. But we do have to start dealing with the NASCAR related road closures, the buildup and tear down period, which is going to last for 18 days starting on June 19th. They have released their entire plan, said that it's shorter than it was last year. It's just one day less, y'all, than it was last year.
Hey, you take what you can get, right?
But it's one of those events that I think I can't say it's split Chicagoans, because I think the Chicagoans who don't care just don't care and avoid it. But 2 years, most of the story has been about rain. But I will say, I do think the feeling last year is that we were a little more prepared for it and that it wasn't as headache inducing. But I think I said this earlier this year. I'm hoping that this year goes off without a hitch, so that there isn't that, we really need this. We need to see it on its best day feel that has been the last couple of years. And that's my hope.
But at least Kennedy Express lanes reopening in June as well. So there's at least one thing that maybe won't slow you down.
Speed cameras, NASCAR, Kennedy Express lanes. That is your June traffic corner with CityCast Chicago. We end all of our monthly guides with the thing we are most excited to eat or drink this month. Michelle, what is that for you this month?
I'm actually looking forward to eating outside, being outside, because of course, finally, hopefully we have some warm weather this month. And I really want to check out Best Intentions in Logan Square. It's like this bar that has a patio, and it's well known for its pretty good craft cocktails that are fairly priced, around $10. Most of them on there are. And then they also have $6 smash burgers that I also heard are really good. So that's something that I definitely want to check out. Another place I want to check out to probably just drink is Tiny Tap and Tiny Cafe on the Chicago River Walk. They have free music on there starting late May, early June. And they have a couple groups coming out to give live music on this like waterfront bar, which is like a really cool hangout spot. I feel like a lot of people go there. Like if you work in the area, a lot of people know about it. But if you're not around downtown, it is such a beautiful place to be on the River Walk. It's just a super chill bar with a lot of extra seating. And of course, you have so much more seating and lawn space across the River Walk, which is lovely. But they have a couple of cool bands coming up. So they have Secondhand News, which is a Fleetwood Mac cover band on June 12th, which is, I will definitely check them out.
They're delightful. I've seen them.
I've never heard of them. Yeah.
They're delightful.
Good to know. Good to know. So I'll probably be there for that. They have Pink Elephant and Friends on June 22nd, which is soul, jazz, and R&B. They have the Johan Experience, which is power ballads, up-tempo soul, rock, funk, and pop.
I do feel like the Riverwalk is a touch underrated as a destination for those of us who are living farther out from downtown. Like, there's a lot of cool stuff happening along there.
I like to get my art on the Mart on.
Art on the Mart. I also just like, my favorite thing actually is just like hanging out and like waving to the boats. Like,
I love waving to the boats.
There is such a culture of like clapping at the boat or waving at the, I don't know. I love it. I've been on the boat experiencing it, but I don't experience it a lot on the other side.
Simone, what is something you are looking forward to eating and drinking this month?
So something I know for sure is on my agenda. Folks may know that I'm always on the lookout for a good oyster in Chicago. I love oysters. And my friend just put me onto a new oyster, or not a new, but a new to me, oyster happy hour in River North at Pippin's, where the deal is $1.50 per oyster from 3 to 6. And specifically, their spread almost always includes some West Coast oysters, which again, folks may know, I'm very partial to the West Coast oyster. I think they are the superior oyster.
I went to Parachute over the weekend and their oysters were really good. But the guy told us they were East Coast oysters. And I ain't even finna hold you. You know, I thought about you immediately. I was like, because I was like, oh, Simone would make a face.
I think they're superior. I did write a guide to this a while back, which again, you can also find on our site, chicago.citycast.fm. But that's one thing I'm looking forward to. But I got to really tell you, with the weather finally turning, true patio season, summertime shy, I am on the hunt for a good michelada on a patio. I really like the ones. I often go to Tweet/Big Chicks over here in Uptown, and they actually make a really delightful one. It's very good. They're known for their Bloody Marys, their brunch Bloody Marys too, and so their mix is really, really good. But yeah, that's so. If anyone's got a rec for a michelada on a patio, I'm here for it. That's how I would like to spend my summer. Jacoby, what about you? What are you looking forward to eating this month?
I got a couple for you. One is the 2025 Sunday barbecue series over at Sportsman Club off Western in Augusta. Every Sunday, they got a different restaurant doing a pop-up. They kicked it off actually this month with Kasama on the 18th. But June is going to be nice. On the 1st, they got Pizza Michi coming in. On the 8th, Mitakaya. On the 15th, Bacchanal. On the 22nd, they got Gibson's. Perilla on the 29th. And then even July going to be fire. Bracero and El Che, Mira, Avec, Obelix. It does get packed 4 p.m. till close. They've got a patio, wine bar in the back, cocktail specials. They say bring some cash, but the pictures look great. The Juneteenth barbecue over at DuSable. People can kind of pair that with a bunch of events.
The museum, yeah.
The DuSable Museum in Washington Park. People can pair that with other events like service events. I know my Block My Hood, My City is doing a service event. Black Joyride is hosting a ride from Grant Park over to DuSable. That's typically a full day events, music, art vendors are going to be out there. Please let us know what festivals you are interested in this summer. We're always available. 773-780-0246. Summertime shot is upon us. We are excited. We hope you are excited. Join me in thanking our fantastic guest today, executive producer El Capitan, Simone Alicea.
Hey, thanks, Jacoby.
And we got producer Michelle Navarro in the building, extraordinaire. Michelle, always a good time.
Thanks, Jacoby.
Before we get out of here, please bookmark our website, chicago.citycast.fm. The CityCast Chicago ecosystem is not just the podcast, the best damn podcast in the city, 4-time Chicago Readers Best Podcast. No. We're so much more than that. We also got a daily newsletter, Hey Chicago. We've got neighborhood and walking guides for you. We're updating our articles almost every single day. There are polls. There are weekly quizzes. Come on, we real interactive over here. You can follow us on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, wherever you like to hang out. We usually there. All right. Something that ends all of our podcasts. Some good news. Not only am I hosting karaoke storytellers this Saturday at Park West, but then I'm turning around on Sunday and I'll be at First Presbyterian Church in Woodlawn for Sacred Grounds Gospel Sounds to talk about Chicago's illustrious history of gospel music. And I'm sitting down with the homie author and DJ Ayana Contreras. It's going to be a great evening, y'all. You can check the link in the show notes for our good news. In the meantime, in between time, we're going to be back bright and early tomorrow. We'll talk to you then. Peace.
They already have a map and a legend of like all the different.
Do they now? They're really excited about that map. They're so excited.